Hello there, this is Kimberly Wilson, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Kimberly. So, what I wanted to chat about today is a few ways to curb anxiety during this trying time. And, the biggest thing that comes up for me that I want to emphasize is the importance of self care, right? So, those basics, staying hydrated. Yes, tea. Yes, orange juice. Yes, water. It's like all these things that can really contribute to our overall well being. Green smoothies, green juices, etc. Okay, the other thing is getting enough sleep. With our schedules potentially a bit out of whack with all of the drama that is going on right now, it's really important that we still keep up our routines as much as possible. So getting up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, and keeping those bookends, the morning routines and the evening routines, still part of our day. Another thing is getting up and actually getting dressed. So there's this really interesting article in the Washington Post that talks about the importance of what we put on and the way we present ourselves to the world and how challenging that's going to be with people working from home. And, people don't really usually invest in like sweats and loungewear. And so how is it that you want to show up, even if you're wearing like leggings, but then like a blazer for your Zoom call. So just keeping in mind these little things, how they make a difference to our overall well-being right now. Of course, filling your body with healthy foods, avoiding too many mind-altering substances such as caffeine, excess alcohol, nicotine, drugs, things along those lines, is making sure that you are doing what you can do to be as present as possible, right? So that might also involve meditation, yoga. A lot of people are not necessarily able to get out and go and keep up their exercise routines. Now, if you can get out and go for a solo run or a bike ride, something along those lines, amazing. However, if you typically go to a yoga studio or the gym, you're going to have to improvise, right, at home. And so there's a lot of online yoga videos. There's a lot of things that we can do at home with some weights or even just plank positions, ab work, things along those lines that'll help us still feel like we're nourishing our body, even though we may feel cooped up in tiny apartments. I get you. I live in 600 square feet, with 4 animals and a partner. So I totally get it, right? It's tight. And yet I think we have to keep up these normal pieces of our routine. Otherwise, we're going to feel even more out of whack. The other thing is making sure you have someone to talk to, whether or not that is a therapist, whether or not it's a pastor, whether or not it's a dear friend, a family member, a sibling, a partner, because right now, I think more than ever, we really need the sense of connection. And I think we're definitely seeing the sense of interconnectedness around the globe. So doing what you can do to really nourish yourself and reach out and seeing how other people are doing. Another piece is hand on heart. So placing the hand on the heart helps to calm the nervous system. And it's just a loving gesture also of self-compassion. And I wanted to read to you a self-compassion piece that I found online. And it's based on the work of Dr. Kristen Neff. And she's out of University of Texas. Amazing work if you're interested in mindful self-compassion. But she says, this is an emotionally challenging moment. Emotional challenges are part of life. May I be kind and curious with myself. So a reminder to be really gentle with yourself and gentle with others because everything is a little out of whack. The other thing too is to do what you can to kind of shift your energy and focus. So as you find yourself maybe in front of the computer for hours, whether or not you're working for your job or you're looking for a job or you're watching Netflix, the thing is you want to get up and make sure that you're moving and that you are shifting and that you are doing what you can do to kind of shift your physical body can help to move also the emotional body. And also, one thing right now that might be helpful is to create a list of what you can do. Because I think as human beings, we're so great at focusing on what isn't working or what we can't do. And so what about the things you can do? Maybe even a list of those many things that it's been like, oh, I'll get to that when I have time. whether or not it's cleaning out a closet, cleaning your home. You know, a lot of us are going to be home for a while. And so making sure that our environment is something that really kind of fuels and nourishes our soul versus drains us or makes us feel chaotic, right? Because there's so much going on. The other thing I wanted to mention is to avoid catastrophizing. So catastrophizing, it's a big word, love the word, but the idea is making a mountain out of a molehill, which many of us are very good at. That is a strength. And yet what we want to do is keep perspective. And so there's one technique that can be really helpful with this. And the idea behind it is to take your thoughts to court. So say it's something along the lines of like, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to catch this and then I'm going to be sick for weeks, right? Okay. So do you know beyond a reasonable doubt that you're going to catch this and be sick for weeks, right? So that is one way for our rational brain to talk to our emotional brain by really asking, like, do we know this to be true? Because we have a lot of thoughts, lots of thoughts, and most of them are not true. So these are a few things that I'm hoping are helpful as we work to navigate everything that's going on around us, everything that's kind of changing minute to minute, moment to moment. And I just want you to know that I am here to support you, and I'm sending lots of good thoughts your way, your loved one's way, and we're in this together. Thanks for tuning in for Tea with Kimberly.